JB here, and with a brand new series, with the Burnley season only a few days away, what better time to look back on some classic Clarets matches in our new series, Clarets Classics, where we look back at some of the classic Burnley games of the last 30 years or so. This is Volume 1, first in the new series, and we're going to go back nearly 40 years to the 1970s, where Jimmy Adamson had a very good team in those days, the likes of Dobson, Leighton James, Doug Collins and all that lot. Terrific football. Alan Stevenson, the goalkeeper. And we've selected two matches for this first volume. Later on, you'll see the game from 1975 against Coventry City at Highfield Road. That comes later. But first of all, we're going to take a look back to 1972, August 1972 in fact, the old second division, now what we call the Championship, where Burnley took on Aston Villa at Turf Moor in a real exhibition of attacking football. Regrettably, we've only got 4 minutes worth of highlights because it's taken from the ITV show The Big Match. But what you're going to see in the next 3 or 4 minutes is an absolute exhibition of how Burnley could attack and how really good the team in the 70s really were. This was the promotion year in 1972-73. We joined it at the start. We joined it through the first half. Burnley in the claret and blue shirts. Let's join Granada's commentator that afternoon, Jerry Harrison.
Leighton James going well. He scored early in the game against Fulham. What can he do here? It's Collins. It's a goal. Ross, a quick one to Aitken. Lockhead calls for a long one. That's meant for him. Up he goes. It's a good header. Hamilton. Beautifully worked. Keith Newton. Fletcher, a great shot. What a fantastic shot from Fletcher. With the two big men from the defence up there, Waldron and Thompson. Dave Thomas trying to get it over. Martin Dobson with the third goal, and after he'd hardly recovered from that terrible knock. As we move into the last 15 minutes of the game. And here's Casper to chase this one. There's a good shot. Oh, a brilliant goal. And Burnley once again...
A really good Burnley performance there in 1972-73, beating Villa 4-1, and they went on to seal the second division championship that season, and it led to 3 years in the first division. The first 2 years they did really well and almost could have won the league, but in 1975-76 it was a different story really. It was a season of struggle and in the end ultimate relegation, which didn't offer Burnley fans too many nice moments really to enjoy, really, because it was a season really where everything could go wrong, had gone wrong. Key players were being sold by Bob Law to keep the club solvent. It was always that sort of thing in those days, and results weren't there. Jimmy Adamson had lost his job, but one rare happiness for the Burnley fans that season was an away trip to Coventry. Now, before the game, Burnley had not won all season, and they went to Coventry with understandable trepidation, of course. But what happened was there were some controversial moments. We got away with a few refereeing decisions in the game you're about to see. Tommy Hutchinson didn't wear shin guards and got a nasty knock, as you'll see in the 6 minutes worth of highlights we've got our hands on here. So let's settle back for another 5 or 6 minutes and watch a rare Burnley victory from that season. The pictures come from ATV in those days in the Midlands, and our commentator for this one was the one and only late great Hugh Johns.
Craven, Holmes, Brogan, Hutchison. Ooh, lucky, that was a very solid one from Mick Doherty. And the way referee Dave Wallace is walking across to Doherty, he's got that book out. Really was a very, very solid whack. So Doherty goes into the book. Well, the agony there on Tommy Hutchison's face. There's no acting going on there. Really is in pain. That's a stud that's done that. And that looks very much as though it's going to need stitches. That is an open wound in Tommy Hutchison's right leg. And clearly the doctor is going to be needed to do something about that. Well, that really is a frightening sight. A frightening sight. Summerby. Nobody told him he was there. Mortimer again. No, the tackle coming from Newton that time. Flynn, Newton, James, Flynn, Thompson, referee allowing advantage, and Hankin in with a chance. Point blank save, and again, and he's got it there. Ray Hankin has done it. 1-0 Burnley. 11 minutes into the game, and 1-0 Burnley. All stemming very much by referee Wallace allowing the advantage to run to Burnley. And Hankin was unmarked in the edge of the penalty area. King did tremendously well to parry a first-time drive, but had no chance with the second one. So they're without Hankin, and there goes Hutchison's legs again. Case of double 11 that time. Leighton James on Tommy Hutchison. Hutchison with the kick. Far post ball, they all come rushing in, and they've lost it, and there's Cross for the equaliser. Burnley absolutely stunned by that one. 22 minutes into the second half. Cross has made it 1-1. The Burnley players will be questioning whether Stevenson was bundled or whether their own inefficiency allowed the ball, that cross ball coming in from Hutchison, to drop amongst them and for Cross to knock it into the net. A solid section of injury time in the first half. And it would appear that the linesman has spotted Brian King stepping outside his goal area, the penalty area, when he kicked that ball from hand. Well, as we go into injury time, this would be an incredible moment for Brian King to have innocently committed an error which could lead to Burnley snatching something out of the game, snatching an extra point out of the game. Flynn and Newton. James moving about behind. The wall not 10 yards back. Or still not 10 yards back. It's far enough. And the shot for James. Deflection in the net. Leighton James. Second minute of injury time, dramatically snatches this victory here. It's got to be now for Burnley. All coming back from a linesman signal who said that Brian King was outside his penalty area when he kicked the ball upfield. The free kick, Flynn took. Knocks it across. James gave it real hammer. King hurled himself, got his fingers to it.
In what was ultimately an awful season, which climaxed in relegation from the old First Division, the old top flight, and they wouldn't get back there for 33 years, having to endure all sorts of relegations and almost oblivion in 1987, of course, the Orient game and all that sort of thing. But they came back, and 33 years on from that last top flight season, they came back into the Premier League in 2009 under Owen Coyle, and have done okay since. But I hope you very much enjoyed episode 1 of Clarets Classics. We'll join you for episode 2 very soon. I hope you very much enjoyed it. For me, JB, until next time, bye for now.